Aloha and mahalo for joining me. I'm Janet and welcome to the Called to Create podcast. I am here to help you ladies unlock your creative potential and use your God-given gifts and start a business. Because you were called to create and you have so much to share, and the world needs your creative gifts to be shared right now, ladies. Let's do this. And I am so excited to be here with you today and to talk to you and to share my thoughts and share my experiences with you as well. And what I wanted to talk about today was something I find interesting that I've observed in life and in my family is that you'll find what you're looking for. And what I mean by that is if you look for the good, whether it's in your life or in the world, you'll find it. You will absolutely find everything that's good in the world. But on the other hand, if you look for bad or things that are really yucky or really not so good, you'll find that too. You'll definitely find all the bad when you look for it in your life and in the world. Because both things exist in the world. You have to have two. You have to have the good and the bad. You have to have all of that. That's how this life is. There's just like no way of getting around it. That's why we always have to have the struggles and then we have to have the triumphs. You have to have both. You can't just have one, but you have to have both. So I want to ask you this. What have you been looking for in your life? And think about it and take a minute because it's really important. Think about what like I always talk about in our family. Sometimes in our families, it's kind of stressful because the people that love us the most and the people that we love the most, sometimes we give each other the most stress out of anybody in this world. And it's like we take our frustrations out on our family because we know that they're still going to love us anyway, but you wouldn't do that to your friend or your boss, right? Your friend might not be your friend if you take your stress out on your friend, or you might not have a job if you take your stress out on your boss. So think about how you have been, what you've been looking for. Have you been looking for the good or have you been looking for the bad? And what has it done for you? If you've looked for the bad, what has come about? Like, how has it affected you? How has it played out in your life? Now, I have a certain family member, and I won't name names because I didn't get any permission to say who they are or how they act because everyone's different. Everybody has free will to do and whatever they want to say. But this person always looks for the bad in everything. And I'm like, why would you always look? The first thing that you do is, why would you look for the bad in everything that you come in contact with or everything that you see or everything that you do? Because you're going to find what you're looking for. If you look for the bad and that's all you focus on, that's all you're going to see. But it doesn't give you the opportunity to see all the good that exists in the world. And I'm so grateful that there is more good in the world than there is bad, even though it doesn't seem that way. But if you tend to only look at the bad, then that's all you're going to do. And that's all that's going to just constantly be in your mind and your thoughts and your actions. And eventually it becomes like who you are and the words that you say and everything that you're about just becomes really negative. So I want to challenge you today. If you feel like you realize that you've only looked for the bad, then I would challenge you to try and take this day to start focusing and looking for all the good that you see. Because it's not to say that if you're only looking for the good that the bad's going to go away. That would be like really nice. But it doesn't work that way, right? The good and the bad are still going to be there. But what you're going to focus on is more of the good. Now, if you are one of those where you look for the bad because you want to help people, if they're in a bad situation, then that's a whole different story. We're not talking about that. And I say that's awesome. Keep doing that, keep helping people if you see that they need help and they're in not good circumstances, especially now with what's going on in the world. There's so many people who need a lot of help with food or finances or all that kind of stuff. So if you can do that, I would say keep on that path. But I would also say to that is that you're looking to do good as well. So you have both components. You're looking for the bad in order for you to do good. And I know a lot of people who do that. And my hat goes off to, even though I don't wear a hat, but you know what I mean. It's like, thank you so much for doing that. So getting back to looking for the good, and take this time to really focus on what it is that you want to see. Look for the good and focus on what it is that can help you. Everything that's good out there is for our benefit. Now the bad is for our benefit too, so that we know what to avoid, but look for the good because it's there for you. It's to benefit you. Everything on earth is here to benefit us, especially like our plants and our trees and our flowers and our grass and our ocean. Now, I live here in Hawaii in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, so we have a beach all around the whole island, and our beaches are beautiful. And look for the good. They're here to benefit us. And see what good that you could do and what you can put out into the world as well. You're gonna find what you're looking for. So choose today what you want to look for. And I hope you're gonna choose good, because it's really, really easy to look for the bad. And especially like if you're struggling or you're frustrated or you're in a bad mood, it's always really easy to look at what's wrong and to say, oh, well, nothing's ever going to work out for me and I can't do this. And it's easy to look, and it's harder to look inside. So look to see what is around you. Look at yourself as well. What's good about you inside of you? Because I know that you have good in you. And look for that, because you have to give yourself credit. You have to start looking at the good that you have and all of that kind of stuff, because it's so easy to just default back into the negative and look for what's wrong and what's bad about you. And it's easy to do that in our families, unfortunately. But I've been trying to make it a practice to look for what's good in my family, even though, sometimes we can get irritated with each other. But I've been making more of an effort every day to try and look at what's good in each person in my family. And now I tend to always look at what's good in life anyway, generally, most of the time. Not every day. Some days I have bad days where I'm frustrated or I'm in a bad mood, but in general, my personality is I always look for the good. But then when it comes to my family, sometimes they can just push buttons, and then you're not I'm not looking for the good. I'm only looking at like what's wrong with them and all of that. And I know you folks know that, because everybody has their own family situation, your own family dynamics. But this is about you right now. So I want you to do this for yourself today. Look for the good in yourself and look for the good in your life, because you have worth and value, and I want you to know that. And I hope you start to believe that if you don't, because you were created by God and you were put on this earth for a reason. And I want you to look at your good and find out why you're here and what that reason is. But you have to start by looking at the good. All right, you folks, I wanted to share this message with you today because I thought it's so important, because that's what I've been working on, and to try and keep on looking for the good, especially in my family and extended family, which is a struggle, but I'm working at it, and I want you to work at it with me in your own life. I'm here to help and share and teach all the things that I know. And share. Go out and share with your family and other people that you know what's good about them. Spread joy and love. And please share this podcast with anyone who you know would get great value out of listening to it. Or if you know anyone that wants to start a creative business, please send this podcast their way. I would really appreciate that. And I want to ask you a favor. If you can please take a minute to rate and review this podcast. And if you're listening to this podcast in the Apple Podcast app, you can rate and review this show right there at the bottom. So as soon as you open my show, you can just scroll down all the way to the bottom and you can rate and review it right there, because reviews are so important and they tell potential listeners and Apple that this show is worth listening to. And I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And have a great day, ladies. Take care of yourself. Aloha.